Hey, Gopher fans, it's another edition of Gopher Talk. We're thrilled you're with us. Gopher Talk presented by Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, a locally member-owned full-service financial invested in you. You can learn more at affinityplus.org. I'm Mike Grimm, voice of the Gophers for Gopher Radio and gophersports.com. And we are thrilled to welcome a pair of Big Ten cross-country champions, and they are twin sisters from Alexandria, Megan and Bethany Hasz. And hello to both of you.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Well, we want to preview this weekend for sure. You guys get to go to Iowa City, where it's the NCAA Regionals, which is the first step toward, I think, what you guys are hoping will be real long-term success here in the next coming few weeks. And with this regional, there's different facets to it to try to advance. But how excited are you, Megan? We'll start with you. How excited are you for this weekend?
I'm super excited. It's great that it's in Iowa. Having such a close meet usually means we have a huge group of fans. We've got obviously my favorite fans out there. We've got a great group that usually comes down and watches, and it's always fun to have that energy there.
And Bethany, have you run the course in Iowa before? And if so, is that an advantage?
Yeah, the regional meet was in Iowa when Megan and I were freshmen. So we had our first regional meet out there. Kind of coming full circle, having our last regional cross country meet out there. But yeah, it's definitely a big advantage, like knowing the course and kind of knowing what to expect. I'm sure a lot of people there will have run the course before, but it's definitely helpful.
And of course, to advance, you want to get into the national meet. You guys are hoping as a team, as you're the top seed in the region and one of the top teams in the country. Who are some of the teams, Megan, that you guys will run up against that you'll have to run at your best to get by?
I mean, there's always a lot of great teams. A lot of times people come out of nowhere, but I think who we're mainly thinking about is Oklahoma State and Iowa State. They've both got a great group of women that are really talented, and on any given day, anything can happen. So
that's the hope. And obviously you have great depth as well, Bethany, top to bottom with this lineup. How much, I mean, in cross country, that's the name of the game at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so helpful having like a really solid top 7 through 9. There's a lot of girls that if we have one or two have a little bit of an off day, there's someone else there to pick up the slack, and that's just kind of how it shakes out in cross country.
Megan, what are the goals? I mean, are you guys openly talking about it, keeping it to yourself as a team and individually?
I mean, I don't think it's any big secret. We were 5th last year in the country. We're obviously hoping to improve on that. We got everybody back from last year, and we've all made improvements this year. Improving would be a podium team, which is one of our big goals this year. And I would say the sky is the limit for this group.
And Bethany, take us through the decision to come back, right? You guys were kind of offered this unique opportunity through COVID, which nobody wanted to go through. But at the end of the day, for this specific purpose, it kind of helped this team advance. Everyone got to come back another year, spend another fall together. It was kind of a bizarre spring last year, right, where the season was then. And kind of take us through the decision that you guys made. And it wasn't just you two; it was a handful of others off this team, right?
Yeah, with last year being such a weird year, I think for a lot of people, it was kind of a hard decision, like trying to figure something out to do with school. But for me and I, it was kind of an easy decision. We just stretched out our master's program, but we love this team so much, and we knew that we had the potential to do a lot this year as a team. Coming back and winning the Big Ten title was a huge goal of ours, and we did that. So I think
yeah, no question. You win the Big Ten title, and then your sister matches you individually. You won the Big Ten title last year, and Megan wins it this year. Megan, take me through. You just had to match your sister, right? A good sibling rivalry here.
Of course, couldn't let her have it all. No, it was super exciting. I didn't expect it. It was a very cool thing. Obviously, probably not that many twins go back-to-back years winning conference titles. Super cool thing to just experience that day, and then to have the team title with it was just everything.
Yeah, and you guys both won titles, if I'm not mistaken, with pretty good kicks, right down the stretch, coming maybe from second place into first place in the final stretch. Where do you think you guys got the kick there, so to speak? Does it go all the way back to training when you were younger?
I don't think my kick was necessarily from training this time around. I'm usually not the speediest person. That day, I think it was just like wanting to do everything I could for my team, and thankfully that was enough.
And Bethany, how about you? And you recall your title from last year with the good kick as well.
Yeah, I don't think that Megan or I are either the speediest girls, especially with Bailey Hurtenstein, who's got a killer 1500. Like, she's so speedy. I think a lot of it just comes from like fighting for your team on that day, and just like whoever has it on that day is what's gonna come out.
And you guys had it both on championship day for sure at the Big Ten meet. All right, so let's go back a few years to the process that brought you from Alexandria to the Twin Cities and the University of Minnesota. How did that play out? Megan, we'll start with you, and Bethany, you can chip in here if you have some thoughts as well.
Yeah, I guess both of us are pretty decisive people. We looked at some other schools, but Minnesota was really the only place we seriously considered. It was our only official visit. We came and we loved Hop, and that instinct was right because she's amazing. She's done amazing things with this program before us while we've been here. The team culture was just amazing to step into. So they made it very easy for us, and I'm glad I made the decision every day.
Bethany, what do you recall about that decision, maybe about the visit and how it's all worked out?
Yeah, like Megan said, we didn't really like to actually take any official visits to any other schools. After like doing our official visit here, we both kind of just knew that this is where we wanted to be. After like seeing the team, just like being around the coaches, like the culture was exactly what we wanted, and we haven't looked back.
And here you are with all this great success, both Big Ten titleists as well. How far, when did you guys start realizing, how young were you that, hey, we have some talent here in long distance running? And then once you realize that, kind of how it take us through the path since? Bethany, we'll start with you this time.
I would say we were both kind of realists. So like, even though like we were good at like our like middle school and like high school level, we were kind of like, okay, we're just like good for like here, and like we weren't like hyping ourselves up like, oh yeah, we're amazing. We didn't really like look more into like running after high school until kind of later. It wasn't really on our radar like super early.
So a normal week when you're training, obviously this week is different because I'm assuming you guys are, I don't know what they call it, tapering maybe, or whatever it is, getting ready for the meet. But during a normal week, let's say in the middle of the summer when you guys are training, how many miles a week might you guys run?
It varies a lot for everyone on the team. My like highest weeks of mileage are around like 75 miles a week.
Wow. Megan, same?
No, I've struggled with some injuries the past couple of years, so my highest weeks are more like 55 to 60 miles a week, and I take a 0 day every week just to help prevent those injuries. And Hop and I have figured out something that works for me to run well at that level and stay healthy, hopefully.
Yeah. Megan, you've mentioned Hop, meaning Coach Sarah Hopkins. How much has her leadership meant to the program and to you two guys?
We would not be where we are without Hop, especially in the last 2 years. I would say she's had a lot more confidence in me than I have at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Hop has gotten both of us to where we're at, and she's gotten this team to where we are. We don't like Minnesota as the school. It's hard to recruit people to Minnesota winters, so we don't get a ton of standout recruits. Hop always says we get developmental kids, and that's really what she loves to build this program on. And everyone works so hard because of Hop, and it works.
Well, it's such an exciting time. I know you guys are excited. Big weekend this weekend, and then more things down the road to come. Thanks so much. Best of luck in Iowa City this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. They're the twins from Alexandria, Megan and Bethany Hasz, both Big Ten champions. That is Gopher Talk, presented by Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. So long, Gopher fans.